I have not met in person Malik Willis, but I've heard nothing but remarkable things about him. When was the first time he crossed your radar screen, Hugh Freeze?
Well, I was coaching at Ole Miss when he was doing well in high school in Roswell, Georgia. So I knew of him. We did not actively recruit him then, as he was committed fairly early, first to Virginia Tech, then to Auburn. So didn't get to know him real well through the process at all. So a few years pass, and I show up at Liberty, and he decides to transfer out of Auburn after spring, when he just had really no quality reps there at all. And so that was when, I was intrigued, because I knew the type of athlete he was, and I knew, in my opinion, at most colleges outside the top echelon, finding offensive linemen is probably the hardest thing we have to do. And, I know at my previous stops, athletic quarterbacks have always benefited our system. And so I was very intrigued. Didn't have, the only reps I had to really watch was him going in. I think he had a total of like 15 snaps, and they were mostly all zone reads. And so then it's a matter of getting to know him and then deciding, do we think he can be an adequate passer? And, he sent me the videos of him working out. We got to know each other. We brought him up on a visit, fell in love with him as a kid. And then it's just kind of had to go with my gut. And, can we win football games with this young man? And I really believe we could, and had no clue that we would be, talking on your show today about him being drafted in the first round at that point. But it was, 4 to 5 games into his first season that I thought, man, he's a lot better than we gave him credit for. And he just has continued to improve. And I think the sky's the limit, because we're talking about a guy that's only played quarterback for 2 years.
And, I watching him work out at the Combine was just eye-popping. His arm and what he was doing with it, and the deep balls that he was heaving in the Lucas Oil Stadium, night was, I'll be honest, reminiscent a little bit of what I saw from Josh Allen a couple of years ago, where he's just fading back around a 10-yard line and launching it, and there it goes on the other 30-yard line, just dropped into a bucket. So you could see the arm strength. What about his readiness, do you think, though, at the next level, Hugh Freeze, and the questions that you're hearing about that regarding Malik Willis?
That's obviously pretty much daily right now, have talks with some teams, and at the Senior Bowl met with a lot, and then obviously our pro day, and now the calls continue as he's making his rounds to different sites to visit with those teams. And I think that's the question that that everyone has to answer. And my response is, in this draft, I don't see anyone that has, and nothing against, and I recruited Matt Corral, and he was committed to me before I left Ole Miss, and I think he's a great quarterback too, but I don't believe in this draft that there's one that has a higher ceiling than Malik. And it's like I tell the general managers and head coaches that were here, what he doesn't know, Rich, he doesn't know. It's not because he can't do it, or he's still young in this process. So, but when you watch, I don't get to watch a lot of NFL because of our schedule, but I do get to see the playoffs. Mm-hmm. And when I watched the playoffs last year, the one thing that I thought was eye-popping and I thought was pretty consistent in about every game I watched is everyone struggles to protect the quarterback with these incredible defensive lines that they have. And so to have a guy that can extend plays, that create opportunities to stay on the field when things don't go exactly as you have drawn up, and that has the arm strength and incredible. Malik has the best balance of probably any running back I've ever had. And he's so physically strong and balanced, and you combine that with his ability to extend plays, and at the same time, I think he's proven that he has continued to improve when just being in the pocket and reading through progression. So I believe he has the highest ceiling, and one of the greatest things that I think he brings to your locker room is just his humility. To where if you told him, hey, you're not quite ready, you're the backup, great, coach, let me know what I can do to help us win. If you looked at him and said, Malik, you won it, you're starting, great. He's going to have the same response to both. And I just think he makes your whole team better, and he gives you that what I think most NFL teams that were in the Final Four to 6 to 8 kind of resembled people that are like Malik at the quarterback position.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.